currently standing opposite the main grandstand on Epsom Downs for the 2019 renewal of the Investec Derby. And we have the commentator standing by who will be calling the race. His name is Simon Holt. He's going to tell us a little bit about the world's greatest flat race, the Investec Derby. Some value to come from Simon Holt.
Japan hasn't been chosen by either Ryan Moore or Donnacha O'Brien, so he's looking very much the third or fourth string now. So this all slightly undermines the Dante form, too darn hot, beaten in Ireland. And it's a quick turnaround for Telecaster. You know, it's going to be his fourth run in a couple of months, and having not raced as a 2-year-old. So I think it'll be a massive achievement if he wins the Investec Derby. He's got a great chance on what he showed at York, but I think there are a few little doubts creeping in just on that Dante form, possibly.
For South Africans, £85,000 is enough to retire on comfortably. We understand that you can get some of that money back because the total stake is boosted by the 170,000 that's gone into it. And is that the reason you believe that Hughie Morrison has decided to take this leap of faith, or do you think he genuinely believes that his horse can step up one more notch?
Well, of course, it's the owner that pays. One of the owners is involved in the breeding game, you know, and runs quite a successful stud. It's a lot of pressure on Hughie, actually, as to how to advise the owners in this sort of situation. They won a fair amount of prize money at York, nothing like 85,000, but they won a bit, so there was a little bit of money in the bank. And at the end of the day, there's only one Derby, so it's a hell of an opportunity to pass up.
All said and done, is there anything other than the O'Brien yard, the yard of Hughie Morrison, or perhaps the Andrew Balding yard that could throw up a Hiroshimic result?
Well, there is a horse called Hiroshima in the race, isn't there? He's about 1,000 to 1, trained by John Ryan. I don't think he's going to win. But, it's horse racing. You know, expect the unexpected.
Wings of Eagles.
Wings of Eagles. Poor Drake Beggy, he's on Sovereign, who appears to be probably the O'Brien runner with the least chance, but is in there. Whether he's in to make the pace, maybe one of them is in there. I mean, the last few years, there's usually been an O'Brien horse that has kicked off Tattenham Corner to really try and stretch them, because, you know, most of the Ballydor horses are pretty much guaranteed to stay the distance.
Douglas MacArthur.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few of those who have been, you know, who've played the role of the sacrificial lamb, you know, and have duly folded up inside the two, but have sort of kind of made sure that it was going to be a stamina test, as if the Derby really needed it, because, I mean, this course here is the ultimate challenge over 1.5 miles, you know. I mean, it's got one of the slowest standard times of any 1.5 miles. I would assess that in top class racing it's the stiffest 1.5 miles in the world. So you've really got to stay well, and people see this downhill run up the home straight and downhill to Tattenham Corner, but they forget over on the far side of the track they've had to run 6 furlongs uphill in the early stages, and they're usually a little bit revved up and racing a bit too freely, and that in those early stages is where the Derby can be won and lost.
Nelson's column, I believe.
Yes, it is. I mean, that is the gradient. So it's quite considerable. But yeah, I mean, you always have to expect the unexpected in racing. I don't think we're in for a massive surprise. You know, some people say, well, if Aidan O'Brien's got 7 runners in the Derby, he hasn't got a good one. But I think nowadays he's got so many horses by Camelot, by Australia, by Galileo, or related to Galileo, who all stay, you know, and are going to stay. And if they've shown a measure of ability, you know, they might as well be given their chance. And also for his paymasters, his Cornwall paymasters, the Derby is very important. Not just from a business point of view, but certainly John Magner, he loves the Derby.